Hello everyone! Today we're going to talk about one-step equations. So the steps to solve equations is we want to find or locate the variable. Find or locate the variable. And then determine what is the operation that is tied to the variable. It could be addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. One of those four things. Then we're going to use the inverse of that operation on both sides of the equals sign. And then we check our solution. Okay, so we know that inverse operations will undo each other, or they cancel each other, right? And we know that addition and subtraction are inverses. Multiplication and division are also inverses. They cancel each other out. They undo each other. So let's look at a couple examples for addition and subtraction. So remember, if you see addition, you use subtraction. See addition, use subtraction. If you see subtraction, we use addition. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. When we are solving equations, I always want you to draw a vertical line through your equals sign. Always, always. Because this point is like the balance point. It's like the place where one side and the other side are the same. Okay? So in this example, I know that x plus 7 and -1 are equal to each other. X plus 7 is the same thing as -1. So in order to keep that balance, if I add something to one side, I must add it to the other side. If I subtract something from one side, I must subtract it from the other side. I have to do the same thing to both sides. So in this example, I find the variable. There it is, it's x. Right? I determine what is the operation that is being used here. It's addition, it's plus. And when I see addition, I use subtraction. So I'm going to subtract something from here. I'm going to subtract 7. Why? Well, what I want, my goal at the end of this, is to have x all alone. Have x by itself. X equals some number. And if I do this, if I say -7, then this +7 and this -7 will cancel each other out. They disappear. +7 -7 disappears. Okay. But remember what I said a minute ago. If I add or subtract something to one side, I must do it to the other side as well. So if I say -7 on this side of the equals sign, I must say -7 on this side as well. Okay? I can add or subtract or multiply or divide anything I want, only as long as we do it to both sides. Must do it to both sides. So in this example, -1 minus 7, now I have to resolve what I have over here. Now I have to do this. So I started with -1, I'm going to subtract 7 from it. What's negative 1 minus 7? Negative 8. So, if we see addition, we use subtraction. If we see subtraction, we use addition. So let's look at this one here. I've got negative 21 equals k minus 8. So first step, I always draw a vertical line along the equals sign, and any more equals signs that I draw later must be on this line, okay? I cannot draw an equals sign over here because it's not on that line. That's not correct. We have to put equals on the line. So I'm following these steps here. First step is to find or locate the variable, okay? And in this example, the variable is k. There it is. I want to determine or find the operation that is tied to the variable, that's on the variable. So in this example, I see on this side of the equal sign k minus 8. So that minus is the operation. This is subtraction. And when I see subtraction, I use addition. Okay? So step 3 is to use the inverse operation on both sides of the equals sign to solve. So this side, I need plus 8. I must do plus 8 over here as well. So k minus 8 plus 8 leaves us with k, because minus 8 and plus 8 are inverse operations and they disappear together. They cancel each other out. And then I have to do negative 21 plus 8, which is negative 13. And it is totally fine that my variable is on the right here versus on the left up here. Either way, k equals negative 13 and negative 13 equals k. Those are the same thing. Doesn't matter. Okay? I want you to give the rest of these a shot on your own. And then you can come back and we'll talk about multiplication. Okay, so let's talk about multiplication. So just like addition and subtraction will undo each other, multiplication and division are also inverses and will undo each other or cancel each other out. So let's take a look at this. So first step, we're going to identify the variable. There it is, it's a. Then we're going to determine the operation that is being used on the variable. And this 4 here is being multiplied by a. This is 4 times a. Remember, whenever we have two things right next to each other with no space in between, that is multiplication. 4 times a. So I draw my line, and I need to use, when I see multiplication, I use division. And I'm going to draw a line underneath this to show that I am dividing by 4. If I do it to one side, I must do it to the other side. And now why did we do that? Well, 4 divided by 4, 4 over 4, those cancel. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So 4a divided by 4 is 1a, right? And we can have that 1 there, or it can be invisible. 4 over 4 cancels, and we're left with just a. And then on this side, negative 24 divided by 4, negative 6. So I see multiplication, I use division. What if I see division? Let's look at number 9. Well, I first draw my line down my equal sign. very important to keep the balance. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. And any new equal signs you draw must be on that line. No equal signs off to the side. Always on that line. So here I identify my variable. There it is, it's n. I determine the operation that's being used on the variable. In this example, it's n divided by 5. And then I use the inverse. If it's division, I use multiplication. And I'm just going to ignore this for a moment because I actually need this space. When we multiply, I like to draw the multiplication next to the equation. I'm going to multiply both sides by 5 like this. If it looked like this, n over 5 equals 9, I would multiply by 5 just right next to the two sides. Right? Because I don't want to draw times 5 below, because this 9 times 5, this actually to me looks like 9 divided by 5. And that's not what we're doing. So we can put the multiplication next to the equation. And now, on the left side, we have this 5 divided by 5 again. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So 5 divided by 5 cancels. And on the left side, we're left with just our variable n. And you can have the invisible 1 there, or you can leave it off. Right? And on the right side, we have 9 times 5, which is 45. So give the rest of these a try. Give that one a try. And then when you're ready, go ahead and check out the mixed practice section. Remember, if you see addition, you use subtraction. If you see subtraction, you use addition. If you see multiplication, you use division. And if you see division, you use multiplication. Right? And always make sure you're drawing the line down the equal sign for every single one of them. And whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. And if you draw any new equal signs, those new equal signs must be on the line. That will help you stay organized. Okay? Answers will be up in this binder when you're ready to check your work.